In 2018, someone inside Facebook made a slide about teenagers. It put a lifetime value on a 13-year-old at roughly $270. That slide stayed sealed in a court file for years, but it's public now, and it explains why you're always broke. These are 7 hard truths that end at that number. Number 7 is Shein. In its own paperwork for going public, Shein has told regulators it drops thousands of new designs a day.
Shein.
Shine.
I say Shein.
It's Shein. Shein.
Back in 2022, Shein's own operations boss put the number at around 700 to 1,000 a day, and it has climbed sharply since. They multiplied it because it works. Hundreds of millions of shoppers have bought something from them in the last year. Now think about what that does to a trend. A style can't last a season when thousands of new ones drop before lunch tomorrow. It lasts about as long as it takes you to spot it, want it, buy it, and post it. After that, the trend can feel outdated almost immediately, and that creates an incentive to buy again. The Ellen MacArthur Foundation crunched this and found something strange. Between 2000 and 2015, the world doubled how much clothing it made. Over those same years, the number of times we wear a piece of clothing before we throw it out dropped by more than a third. We bought twice as much and used each thing a third less, which is a subscription nobody signed you up for. And it all ends up somewhere real. Every week, around 15 million used garments land in Ghana, most of them at a market in Accra called Kantamanto. Ghanaians call them Obroni Wawu, which means dead white man's clothes. The Orr Foundation, which works inside that market, has estimated around 40% of what comes in leaves again as waste. Ghana's own clothing dealers push back on that number hard, but nobody argues about the 15 million, and fishermen on that coast keep pulling up nets full of shirts instead of fish. That market runs on thousands of stalls, and the bales get carried in on the heads of women who came down from northern Ghana for the work. Those bundles can weigh over 100 pounds, and the pay for a full day of hauling can work out to just a couple of dollars. Somebody had to sell you all of it though, and they were getting paid by the sale. Number 6 is the haul video. When you watch a haul, or a get ready with me, or a 5-step skincare routine, you're usually watching a shop. TikTok Shop has moved billions of dollars of product in America, and it's growing fast. Creator commission links drive a big share of it. Those commission rates for creators tend to sit in the low double digits. So when your favorite person online swears a lip oil changed her life, she gets paid if you agree with her. All of that's completely legal, and it's also allowed to be almost invisible. The Federal Trade Commission has warned in its own guidance that ads and normal content online are now deliberately difficult to tell apart. The suggestion to creators is the part that should stop you cold. The FTC has pushed for wording much stronger than sponsored or paid partnership. Something closer to, this company paid me to show you this so you'd think about buying it. That advice exists because study after study showed young viewers read the word sponsored and understand nothing at all. Think about how strange that is. The rule makers looked at the whole mess and decided the honest version of a hashtag had to be a full sentence with the word paid inside it. None of this makes the creator a villain. A lot of them are broke 23-year-olds trying to make rent off a small commission cut. But that warm, she's basically my friend feeling you get while watching is the actual product, because trust sells better than a billboard ever did. So the billboard moved into a bedroom and put on a hoodie. There are millions of Get Ready With Me videos sitting on TikTok now. That storefront stopped being a corner of the app, and the fastest growing skincare customers on earth can't legally drive yet, which is how a 10-year-old ends up at number 5, Sephora. CHCBS News sent undercover shoppers into beauty stores. Kids walked in and bought products loaded with retinol and strong acids, built for grown-up skin and for problems a 12-year-old doesn't have. The undercover shoppers were able to purchase the products without being stopped at the counter. The packaging was built like candy, bottles shaped like fruit, sold in fruit-covered boxes, and the girls picking them up were arguing about whether they smelled nice. Doctors have been shouting about this for years. Retinol on young skin can burn it, dry it out, and wreck the barrier that protects it. Anjali Mato, a skin doctor in London, has said publicly she'd seen a 14-year-old in her clinic worried about crow's feet. She's 14, scared of lines that haven't shown up yet for kids or for gifts for children, and anti-aging products came back in the results. Sephora later reached an agreement with the state to tighten things up. Brands are supposed to hand over warnings about whether a product suits kids under 13. Those warnings are supposed to sit clearly on the page. Staff are supposed to be trained to spot them. Sephora called it a cooperative review and admitted no wrongdoing. A study in the journal Pediatrics found this stuff gets marketed hard at younger and younger buyers. And the authors added a line that matters more than the rest. It's close to impossible for a parent or a doctor to see what a kid's actually being shown. California tried to go further and banned selling any of it to under 18s. That bill stalled without ever making it into law. So the receipts exist and the doctors agree, but the fix covers a tiny corner of the country. Meanwhile, the money keeps moving, except a lot of it isn't money yet. It's a promise to pay later in 4 easy pieces. Then comes number 4, and it's buy now, pay later. It gets sold to you as a favor. 4 payments, no interest, barely a credit check, and a hoodie lands on your doorstep Thursday. Consumer surveys keep finding the same pattern. A big share of users pay late over any given year. Among Gen Z users, plenty run 3 or more at the same time. The part that should end the argument comes from the customers themselves. When surveyors ask, most users of these services admit the loans push them to spend more than they otherwise would. And among Gen Z, the number is even higher. The companies are pretty open about what they're really selling too. PayPal has said publicly that offering it lifts the average order value dramatically for big sellers. The pitch to the shop is that customers spend a lot more once they see 4 small numbers instead of 1 big one. That's the whole game. The shop pays a fee, you pay nothing extra today, and in exchange, your brain stops feeling the price. Handing over $60 stings. $15 4 times doesn't sting at all, even though it's the same $60, and you'll still be paying in November for a t-shirt you stopped wearing in September. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has put the average loan of this type at around $135. Nobody's financing a fridge with that. Federal Reserve figures show late payments climbing, and roughly a third of 18 to 29-year-olds have fallen behind at least once. Nobody's being tricked by fine print here. The trick is math your brain won't do while it's excited. And none of these come close to what's waiting at number 1, which raises a fair question. First, why is your brain always excited? That's where number 3 comes in. The slot machine in your pocket. In November 2017, Sean Parker sat on a stage in Philadelphia and told Axios exactly how the thing got built. Parker was the founding president of Facebook. His name for it was a social validation feedback loop. He said it exploited a vulnerability in human psychology and said the inventors understood that and built it anyway. God only knows what it's doing to our children's brains. That's Facebook's founding president describing his own work, on a stage, on the record. The other half of the machine is the scroll itself. Asa Raskin, the designer usually blamed for infinite scroll, has spent years apologizing for it. His point's simple enough for anybody to check. A page that ends gives your brain somewhere to stop, while a feed that never ends takes the stop sign away. So you keep going long past where you'd have quit. He's compared designs like it to behavioral cocaine dropped into an interface. And he's estimated in interviews that endless feeds burn enormous amounts of human time every single day. Raskin went on to help start the Center for Humane Technology, which mostly exists to undo the thing he helped build. Put both halves together and you've got the whole device. It hands you a reward you can't predict and never ends. That's a slot machine with a camera roll. So when you tell yourself you've got no self-control, understand what you're actually up against. Thousands of the smartest engineers alive, paid enormous salaries, working full-time to beat one teenager's attention span. They tested it, they measured it, and they wrote every bit of it down. Number 2 is what they wrote in Meta's own notes. For years, the strongest thing anybody could honestly say about all this was that it felt like a setup. Then the internal documents came out through Frances Haugen's disclosures, and a wave of state attorney general lawsuits, and a feeling turned into evidence. The Wall Street Journal's Facebook Files series pulled out lines from Meta's own research about how valuable young users were to the business. The idea, boiled down, was that if you catch people young, they stay for a very long time. The same disclosures included research on teenage habits. Journalists reporting on the leaked slides described the researchers writing that teenagers on Instagram often talked about the app the way an addict talks about a habit, doing something over and over that they knew was bad for them while feeling powerless to stop. Those descriptions came from Meta's own research team, written for Meta's own leaders. Attorneys general in dozens of states have since sued Meta. Their argument, at its core, is that the designs targeted kids and that the company's own research raised concerns about potential harms. Meta denies the allegations and is fighting the cases in court. Private lawsuits from young users are running alongside, and some early verdicts have already gone against social media companies, with more appeals to come. A jury of ordinary people looking at that kind of evidence has to decide whether the design crossed a line. That's the point of a courtroom, and it's the point of leaked documents. The receipts exist. What they mean is being argued out in public. The design's on the record. The internal research is on the record. The ugliest question is still ahead. If those internal number crunchers were putting a dollar figure on you, what did they think it was worth? Number one is $270. Materials disclosed through the state lawsuits against Meta include a slide on teen lifetime value. On that internal math, a 13-year-old came in at roughly $270, with a note saying spending more than that to acquire one should get a much closer look. That's the number they landed on. According to that internal calculation, the estimated lifetime value of one 13-year-old user was roughly $270. Now do the math nobody ever puts on screen. Surveys of American teenagers by Gallup have found the average one spends close to 5 hours a day on social media, with older teens hitting nearly 6. Take the average and run it across 6 years, 13 through 19. That lands at roughly 10,500 hours. 10,500 hours is over 400 days, which is more than a year of being awake around the clock, doing nothing else at all. $270 split across 10,500 hours works out to about 2.5 cents an hour. Nobody stole your teenage years. Looking at the receipts, they got priced. Would you have taken the deal? Don't settle for your baseline. Go beyond it.